All right, everybody, we'll go ahead and get started here. Welcome and thank you for joining our New Nor'easters virtual series where we'll talk about everything relating to student engagement and recreation here at UNE. We'll start with some quick introductions. My name is Iris Walter. I'm an assistant director here in the undergraduate admissions office, and we have a couple faculty from our student engagement office as well. Brian, would you be able to start us off and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Brian Adams. I'm the Director of Student Engagement. I look forward to chatting a little bit more about all ways that students get involved on campus tonight.
Thank you. And Gracie?
Hi, everybody. My name is Gracie Nielsen. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Engagement.
And Bob?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Bob Eagle. I'm the Senior Director for Campus Wellness and Recreation, and I look forward to talking with everybody about recreation stuff this evening.
Great, thank you. And we do have one of our very involved students as well. Ethan, can you give yourself a quick introduction?
Yeah, of course. Like I said, my name's Ethan. I'm involved here on campus with a few different clubs. Love outing club, love serving club, those kind of stuff. Also a student ambassador. And on top of that, a lot of club sports as well.
Awesome. All right. So, starting on the first day of classes, we have some kind of activity of some sort pretty much every single day, and definitely every weekend for the first few weeks of the semester. Those are all really intended to help you get familiar with campus, meet new people, and really kind of make the most out of the beginning of your UNE experience. On Wednesday, the first day of classes, we host the First Day Festival. This is a kind of fair for different departments and offices to advertise their services to new students, potentially hire students for on-campus jobs, and like give away a lot of free fun swag and snacks and all of those sorts of things. It's a great opportunity. I encourage you to go. But yeah, Brian, do you want to go next?
Yeah, thanks, Gracie. So then on Friday, August 29th, we have our annual involvement fair, and that's going to take place right outside our beautiful commons right on the Biddeford campus. And that's an opportunity we have almost 100 student organizations, and almost everybody participates. So it's an opportunity to learn more about different student organizations that are available. You can sign up for their email list. You can learn about when they actually meet on campus, some of the different activities that they offer. It's something that a lot of our first year students go to, so definitely highly recommend that you check that out on that first Friday of the semester. But we also know that an involvement fair or something like that may not be the best way for everybody to learn about different involvement opportunities on campus. So we also offer right here in our QR code, if you just scan that QR code, that'll take you to what we call Presence. It's a website where all of our student organizations live. So they publish various events that are happening, when their meetings are happening. We post when other student sort of themed events are happening there. So it's really sort of a central calendar and a central place for students to go to learn about involvement opportunities on campus. So highly recommend you check that website out. And we'll be talking more about that when folks move to campus later this August. But I think I'm going to turn it over to Bob now.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share a little bit about our fitness, wellness, and recreation stuff here on the Biddeford campus. So the primary hub for you guys for those types of things is the campus center. You can see our hours up on the screen. We're open a large amount of hours during the week, somewhere around 115, 116 hours. And if you haven't been in the campus center quite yet, it is a big facility, has a lot of different amenities to it, such as our fitness center, our full court gymnasium, indoor track. We have a couple of group exercise rooms, a 6-lane pool, hot tub, and an outdoor gear rentals room and an esports lounge. Within the campus center, that is the hub of our outdoor recreation programming here on the Biddeford campus. And some things that are available that you can come right to the campus center for, as I mentioned in the previous slide, was our gear rentals room. That is open 6 days a week, usually about upwards to 20 hours a week. So what that allows you to do is if you are interested, you can rent out outdoor gear. and go camping with that, or go hiking, or do any other kind of outdoor pursuits that you might be interested in. We also operate the 30-unit bike share program here on campus. So all the little white bikes that you'll see hooked onto some stations here around campus. There's 3 locations. Those are available for students to use during the fall semester and the spring semester when it warms back up. And you can take those out anytime you want, up to about 4 hours between sunrise and sunset. We offer fall paddleboarding and kayaking down at Jordan's Point, which is visible from the Commons if you've already been on campus. And we offer that usually about 3 times a week during the fall while the water remains warm. And then in addition to that, we offer a bunch of little intro experiences such as indoor rock climbing, hiking. We might offer some paddling trips that are a few hours long for folks that are interested in getting in the outdoors. And then we help support the Outdoor Recreation Council, which is a group of 5 clubs here on campus that get outside and play in the outdoors during the year. In our pool, we have a bunch of opportunities available for folks. We have a lot of open and lap swim hours, which you can see on a monthly basis. If you come into the campus center, there are schedules available, but they're also available online on our campus center webpage. We do offer adult swim lessons. So if someone's learning to swim or wants to get better, we offer that. We offer some water exercise classes. And then we also offer some lifeguard certification courses, water safety instructor certification courses, CPR and AD. And then through our outdoor rec department, we offer wilderness first aid classes at least once or twice a year. For fitness opportunities, we have our fitness center. It has a full line of cardio, strength-based equipment in a functional area in which you can do some work in. We offer some group fitness classes. We have the indoor track and the gymnasium where if you want to play hoops, do something else in there with your friends, you can do that as well too. And then another piece that the campus center offers is some wellness education. So we provide some education around the 8 dimensions of well-being. And for particular, we focus in on 4 key areas such as sleep, sexual health, substance use, and connection and belonging. We have a group of peer health educators here on campus that put on some interactive events, but also offer some educational tabling events low-key in the Commons, usually around the lunch hour once or twice a week. And then lastly, we, from the recreation field, we, through athletics, have the Intramurals program, which is a large program. We offer about 30 leagues on campus throughout the whole year. It's open to all students. Some of our most popular programs tend to be basketball, flag football, and soccer. In addition to intramurals, we also offer club sports programming as well too. And currently we have 23 active clubs that compete against other colleges and universities. And depending on, how well you do, there's the potential for some regional and national competitions. What's really important to note about club sports is although there may be some coaches, those sports are typically student-led, and usually the level of participation is once or twice a week practices with a competition maybe on the weekends. And lastly, if you're looking for student employment, campus recreation is a great place for that. You can see a lot of the offerings that we have up there. We have aquatics, outdoor rec, group exercise, some health education, and intramurals opportunities available.
Awesome. And with that, we will begin the Q&A portion of our evening. So first, what kinds of clubs do you have? Do one of you guys want to answer that?
So we kind of have, we run the gamut. We have everything. So we have everything from, we have a beekeeping club on campus. We have clubs that are about sustainability. We have a drama club. We kind of have a little bit for everybody. And if for some reason there's not a club that sort of fits your need, or if you have an interest that you're bringing from high school or from home, and you want to start a club about that interest, Our office can help you do that. It's very easy to do. We open registrations for new clubs twice a year, usually at the beginning of each semester. And there's just a few basic requirements that you have to have for officers. But we can help you through that process. But we're really open to sort of a real diverse set of student involvement opportunities.
Awesome, thank you. Somebody submitted the question, how do we sign up for club sports?
Like you said earlier, Iris, during that kind of club sports or club fair at the beginning of the year, all the sports will have tables there. You sign up for email lists, and depending on the club sport and like its interest, they have some form of tryouts, or but they'll take everybody. And with that, it'll be on the email list. They'll kind of let you know when you all meet, for practices and stuff like that. So super easy. Just go to that involvement fair to sign up.
Great. We have another question from Mia. What are the differences between club and intramural sports? For example, how many days a week do intramural sports practice versus club sports?
Yeah, and I can help answer that. And Ethan, please feel free to jump in too. But intramurals, by and large, those tend to be over a shorter period of time, sometimes 4 or 5 or 6 weeks. And my understanding is you'll probably compete once a week. You don't necessarily practice, and you can join intramurals with a group of friends. And form a team, or you can actually join as what they call a free agent if you're not attached to a particular team. But my understanding is typically once a week, you just compete against other students that are here on campus. And again, no practices. With club sports, that's a little bit different. Depending on the club, you might practice like once or twice a week, and then you might have competitions over the weekend. So the level of participation goes up where you're probably participating 2 to 3 times a week with club sports. And you're actually having some practice and some competition, whereas intramurals is just largely competition once a week. So Ethan, I don't know if you have anything to add on that. That's how I've seen the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, I feel like club sports is that kind of middle ground between intramural and varsity, with it being a little more competitive, and intramural sports being a little more laid back and fun. Like you said, kind of get a group of friends together, sign up for some random sport like water polo or something like that, that wouldn't have a club sport. But definitely a lot less commitment in with an intramural sport. And like Bob said earlier, kind of just play once a week.
Awesome, thanks. Our next question is probably best for Ethan again. How do I balance involvement with academics?
Yeah, that's definitely a tough one considering how much we have here for you. I'd say the biggest thing is just get your priorities straight. Obviously, you can sign up for every club you want, but I wouldn't go to every club. Oftentimes too, you'll find overlap with meeting times. That kind of helps a little bit with balancing. But the nice part about kind of clubs and club sports compared to like other commitments on campus is that most of the time it's you're meeting once a week or so, meeting twice a week for an hour or so. So it's not a super long time you're meeting, and it's not like an everyday commitment. So you can definitely kind of build your work around that, to fit in, fun with schoolwork as well.
Awesome, thanks. Our next question is, how do I know if I have work study? One of our
Yeah,
staff.
that you probably will be able, you can find out one of a couple of ways. And one way is to take a look on the compass, and I believe you have a financial aid profile on there where you can take a look and see what aspects of financial aid you have, and work study should be an independent column or listing on that. If you can't find that, one of the best things you can do is probably call the student financial aid office. They're typically open between 9 and 3, Monday through Friday, and available for calls and can kind of help answer those questions. The other thing I would say, sorry, is that usually if you can find it on Compass, it'll tell you how much work study you have. So most folks get anywhere between $1,000 to $4,000 worth of work study funds for the year.
Great. Yeah, and also to add, there are many jobs on campus that are available for work study and non-work study. So even if you don't have that on your financial aid package, you can still get a job on campus. Our next question is, if you don't have work study, what is the best way that a student can find employment?
Yeah, so I
One
think
of
to
you
go
guys
back to that,
want
Iris, I wouldn't give up on folks if they don't have work study. They can take a look and see what jobs are available. The best place to do that is on our Handshake app, which if folks sign into the Compass and there's a tile there, once they go into the Okta portion of that, they can see if there's Handshake on there. If they don't want to go through all those 3 steps, what they can do is just Google UNE Handshake. It'll take them to the career advising page and they can click on the student login. When you get into that, the way that I believe Handshake is set up is that if you are non-work study, you should be able to see what non-work study positions are available on campus. If you're work study, you should be able to see all work study and institutional positions.
Yeah.
And then there's, I mean, town's only, if you can't find a job on campus, town is only 5 to 7 to 8 minutes away. There's probably plenty of opportunities here in Biddeford to find some work as well, too.
Very true. All right, our next question is on that note, do you ever go off campus? Ethan, would you like to answer this?
Yeah, of course. Like Bob said, pretty close to the town area. It kind of, you get on Pool Street, about an 8-minute drive, and then you take a right, you're in the heart of Saco, kind of cute little shoppy areas, more kind of local places to shop, local places to eat. And you take a left, you go into the Biddeford area, it's kind of your more chain places with your Target, Walmart, stuff like that. On top of that, Portland's pretty close, so a lot of stuff to do up there, very walkable city, a lot smaller around from the Boston area, so a lot smaller than that. Fun place to walk around. A lot of nice kind of coastal areas, beaches around this area too, to get out. And as Bob said earlier, we have that kind of outdoor gear room. So a lot of places to get off campus and explore the outdoors with our gear as well.
Gracie, anything to add?
Yeah. I think Ethan covered the like getting around and like the fun stuff to do on your own. I also do really love to plug the activities that we have that go off campus. Obviously, the majority are on campus based, but we do stuff either within student engagement or with the outdoor recreation, wellness folks to get folks into like the surrounding New England area, which I think is really awesome. I know at the end of September, we're doing like a joint off-campus adventure day, and we're taking a bunch of students to a Red Sox game. And then some of the outdoor recreation folks are taking people whitewater rafting. So like that is just like one weekend, one day of some of the off-campus activities we do as well, because there is truly like so much going on in the area that we want to make sure that students are able to access for like a lower cost, transportation included, all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Thank you, both of you. And our next question is, what is your favorite UNE activity?
Yeah, so I grew up not watching a whole lot of hockey. Definitely coming here, big hockey school. Love our hockey games. It's probably one of my favorite activities to do on campus. We have a teddy bear toss every year that gets packed, super fun game. On top of that, I'm part of an outing club, so I love the outdoors. We go out surfing, go out hiking, rock climbing. I love doing that kind of stuff off campus like that.
Great. Anybody else have a favorite activity that you either lead or anything?
We don't lead it, but I would say one of my favorite traditions on campus is annually we have our Thanksgiving dinner, which takes place the week before Thanksgiving in our dining hall. And it's a sort of traditional Thanksgiving dinner, but we have a lot of faculty and staff that volunteer at that and play as waiters, servers, help, serve food. It's just a really nice community event and a way to sort of celebrate the UNE community together.
Great. Anybody else?
I'm not just saying this because Bob's in this, but I think that Mountain Takeover is like one of the cool things to do. What, did I steal your thing? I'm gonna keep stealing it. Mountain Takeover is truly one of the coolest things that students can do here. Outdoor Rec and like Outing Club will take like 200 plus students up to, is it Lost Valley or is it a different one?
It is Lost Valley,
Okay,
yes.
Lost Valley
Yep.
Mountain, and it is like one of the most accessible, awesome opportunities to like learn something new, do this really cool activity with your peers. I know that there are people who have like never skied or like snowboarded before, and they go and you can do lessons, and it is very low cost for like the experience that you get to have. It's awesome.
Yeah, and that's something that's really great. What the clubs did this year is they offered ski lessons for the first ski and snowboard lessons. I think for the first time with that program. So if anybody's interested, that's a great opportunity. That's a great evening. I think one of the other things I might mention is 2 other things that I like to see. I've gone at least once a year to go see a home football game at least once. That's always fun to go see. The other thing I would also mention is winter lighting, which is something that Gracie and Brian's office puts on. It's just a nice way to celebrate that time of year where it gets dark and we can kind of light up the campus a little bit and have a little bit of fun.
Awesome. Thanks. That kind of answered the next question we have, which is what kind of stuff is there to do in the winter when you can't really be outside?
I think I love sledding around campus. We got a ton of snow this past year, and there's this one hill on campus that all the snow from all the parking lots get piled up on, and we'll climb that and sled down. A lot of fun. On top of that, the commons are super cozy. There's some fire pits in there too, some couches areas that get kind of like cozy in the winter time when it gets all cold and snowy out.
Awesome. Great answer. That sounds really fun. So that will wrap up our Q&A part of the evening. We'll end with some admissions updates, but if you have any questions that didn't get answered, feel free to send them in the chat or give us, we'll have our contact information afterwards if you have emails to send us. Before you get to campus, make sure that you connect with each other through our class Instagram page, UNE Class of 2029. You can introduce yourself to other new Nor'easters, meet potential roommates, learn more about your class and your future classmates. And a couple of next steps, if you haven't already done these, make sure that you submit your final high school transcript to us, the admissions office. And this has to be official, meaning that it has to come directly from your school counselor. And it has to have your graduation date listed on this as well. And the housing and dining contracts were due on July 1st, but if you have not already submitted them, please reach out to the housing office as soon as possible. Similarly, health forms were also due on July 1st, so if you have not submitted that information, be sure to complete it as soon as possible. And then finally, before coming to campus, make sure that you update your emergency contact information. Finally, we have 2 more New Nor'easters virtual series events coming up this summer. Next week, next Tuesday, we will have one focused on health and wellness at UNE. And in August, we will have a final countdown, Ask Us Anything, where it is really just an open Ask Us Anything Q&A for any last minute questions before you arrive on campus. This is the student engagement contact information. So if you have any questions for them, please reach out to them and stay in touch. Similarly, this is our undergraduate admissions contact information, so please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions going forward. We are all here to help you throughout this process, so please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd like to thank you all for joining us for this New Nor'easters virtual event, and we can't wait to welcome you to campus shortly, and have a great night. Thank you.